Hey everyone, this is Kate from the Skincare Diary, and today I wanted to do an updated Q&A, and I wanted to do it in YouTube format in the hopes that I start posting more videos here. So on my stories the other day, I asked you guys to ask me questions that you wanted answered in a video format, and I just kind of went through and picked at random some of the most frequently asked questions that I get. And I do want to say that a lot of these questions are answered in my skincare book. It's an ebook and I've linked it in the description box below. But yes, I just want to say 90% of the questions I'm asked on a daily basis are answered in that book. So I'm just going to start at random, and the first question I got was, what is your favorite sunscreen? So my favorite sunscreen for a very long time was the Biore Aqua, I can never say this, it's Biore Aqua Rich Watery Essence SPF 50. And that has been my favorite sunscreen for a very long time. I just replaced that with the Crave Beauty, the Beet Shield as my favorite, and the issue that I actually have with both of those sunscreens is they both have alcohol pretty high in the ingredient list, the drying kind of alcohol, and so that's kind of a bummer, and it really does kind of affect my skin if I, am constantly using products with alcohol. So that's really the only product I make an exception with alcohol for, because finding a sunscreen that doesn't break me out, doesn't smell like sunscreen, doesn't look like sunscreen, doesn't leave a white cast, like it's really hard actually. So once I found one that didn't break me out and, was a great sunscreen, I just kind of gave up on caring about the alcohol in just that product specifically. So those are my two favorites. My other favorite is the Glossier Shield, but that is only SPF 30, so it automatically does not become my favorite sunscreen. But yeah, I would say the Beet Shield for sure. It has the cleanest ingredient list out of that and the Biore Aqua Rich, so it still has alcohol, but it's a better net ingredient list. Best quick fix for dry skin under makeup. The best quick fix for that, gently physically exfoliate in the morning prior to putting makeup on. You want to get as much of the dead skin off as possible so that it doesn't leave your skin texture uneven, because that's kind of where you're going to see the difference in your foundation, and that's kind of where you're going to see your skin starting to look flaky or dry or whatever. So a gentle physical exfoliant the morning prior, and then a lot of hydrating layers or essences, and of course, a thick moisturizer, a facial oil, and then I would honestly recommend something like Welita's Skin Food as a pre-makeup primer. So on top of your whole AM routine, add that Welita Skin Food in, and it's really going to help hydrate and even out your skin texture, because it's so thick that your makeup's going to kind of apply to that, not your skin. So I would say that would be a good base, and then I would recommend adding 2 to 3 drops of a foundation oil or facial oil into your foundation and mix that, and then follow up with something hydrating, something like Tatcha's Dewy Skin Mist or any other kind of hydrating toner or finisher. Favorite face mask for breakouts. So my all-time favorite face mask ever is the Naturoclina Roseberry Mask, and I love that mask so much because it is both hydrating, super hydrating, and purifying, gently purifying. So I recommend that mask for honestly everything. It's primarily made of raw honey, rose clay, kaolin clay, it's vegetable glycerin. I literally have 5 stockpiled on my shelf. Like, I can't live without it. I even use it as a spot treatment because raw honey is really, really beneficial in keeping the skin hydrated, or like PIH or active spots hydrated, so that they are less prone to scabbing, scarring. Next question is, what product, especially serum, moisturizer, toner, works faster for PIH? So I always tell people to go back to sunscreen. Like, please make sure you're wearing sunscreen. It will prevent you from getting skin cancer. It will prevent early signs of aging. And a lot of people, every time, like, they'll say they don't wear sunscreen, and then I tell them it helps fade PIH, and they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta start wearing sunscreen. And PIH, and when we talk about PIH, it's those red, purple, brown spots or marks that are left over from an inflammatory event. So we're talking about like acne, or even like a scratch can leave behind PIH, which by the way stands for post-inflammation hyperpigmentation, or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. I hear people say it both ways all the time. So I would say always start with sunscreen, because what is happening with PIH is your skin is holding on to excess melanin. And melanin is stimulated by via UVB rays. So if you're not wearing sunscreen, you're stimulating melanin production. Your skin is more likely to hold on to that excess melanin, and your PIH is gonna take forever to go away. So that is one place where I say to start. The next place that I say to go is to chemical exfoliants. So hydroxy acids, alpha hydroxy acid, beta hydroxy acid, AHA, BHA, those are very common hydroxy acids. There's also PHA and others, and I would recommend using some form of a chemical exfoliant because it's going to speed the cell turnover time. So again, getting your skin to get rid of that excess melanin quicker than usual. Another product could be retinol that kind of works from the bottom up in terms of the deeper layers of the skin to the top layers of the skin, but it's still helping to speed cell turnover. So I start with those two, and then I also recommend something like a vitamin C serum, kind of in combination with hydroquinone. And I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I've never actually heard anyone say that word. This is what it looks like, and it basically helps to lighten skin. It's a semi-controversial ingredient, so I would say do your research before you use it, or any products that contain that ingredient. But other than that, that is essentially what I recommend for treating PIH. Best spot treatment for an active breakout. So for this, I would say pimple patches. Cosrx, Hero Cosmetics, they all make those bandages that basically just absorb the liquid out of the wound. I say wound when I talk about pimples because that's how I think about them, but I'll try to say pimples. So those bandages really just absorb and hold on to the moisture that are in the pimples, so they really help to just draw pus out. Those are my first go-to because they're very gentle on the skin compared to something like Mario Badescu's drying lotion, which is essentially alcohol. This is the only product by Mario Badescu that I ever recommend is their spot treatment. So if you are just looking to like dry the crap out of your pimple, I would recommend something like that, or Kate Somerville's pimple spot treatment, which I'm pretty sure they're like basically the exact same formulation for the most part. Other than that, honestly, I will say raw honey, like it really does such a great job. And back to Naturalina's roseberry mask, like I honestly, that is my favorite spot treatment for myself personally because it works the best for me. All right, the next question is where to invest in a beauty routine. What's worth the extra cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching? So I would say, honestly, you can get a near flawless skincare routine for $20. Like, honestly, even less than that. When I first started my skincare journey, my most expensive purchase was Curology, which was $20 a month. And I've maintained that subscription now for the last 3 years. It's been one of my favorite products. It's been one of the best investments I've made in my skin in the short term and in the long term. But I would say that you don't need to spend a lot of money to have nice skin. So when I first started my skincare routine, it looked exactly like this. I was using the Cozy Soft Emo Cleansing Oil, which is $9 to $10 a bottle on Amazon. I still use it to this day. I've repurchased it about 22 times. I love it. I was using the Secret Key Starting Treatment Essence, which is about $14 a bottle. It lasts for a while too. The LJH Tea Tree Essence, that's about $20 a bottle. I was using CeraVe PM, which I got in a dual pack on Amazon for about $21. I think it's slightly more expensive now. And then the StreetX Red Box Salicylic Acid wipes, and those are about $6 a box. and that was my routine. Oh, and then also the Milano CC Vitamin C Serum, which I got on Amazon, which is about $12. I think it's slightly more expensive now, but that was my routine for a solid 3 to 4 months, and then I realized my skin desperately needed chemical exfoliants, so I added in Curology, which was $20 a month. Other than that, I was spending, by the time all of those products lasted, I was spending about $22 to $23 a month in skincare. Just pay attention to ingredient lists. If you find a product that your skin loves, like you can't live without it, like invest in that. Like, you can have nice skin at $20 a month, $10 a month, $3 a month. It's just, if you find a product that you're obsessed with, invest in that. What are the bare essentials for a skincare routine? This is a great question, and I get asked this very frequently. And the first thing I would say is start at the bottom and work up. So a great cleanser. For the most part, it doesn't really matter what kind of cleanser you're using as long as it is pH balanced and it leaves your skin feeling clean, like still bouncy. Like you don't ever want to feel like tight after you wash your face. And you can get pH test strips on Amazon for like $4 for a pack of like 200. And I just swab my cleanser, and if it comes back, for me personally, higher than 5.5, like I don't use it, or I don't use it often. And I never ever use a cleanser that is above a pH level of 6, because your skin's at about 5.5, and every 0.1 is a 10% increase in the pH. So it's like jumping from 5.5 to 6.2, that's a huge jump. So anyways, start with a gentle cleanser. Next, move on to a moisturizer. So a great moisturizer that's very affordable is CeraVe PM. I used it in the AM for many months, sorry, and it was great. And then CeraVe in the tub is also a great affordable option for a good moisturizer. And then lastly, a sunscreen. Like everyone needs a sunscreen. If you're actually, that's a great product to splurge on. If you're gonna splurge or invest in anything, invest in a good sunscreen, because finding one that your skin likes, that doesn't break you out, that's SPF 50, protects you from the sun, like it's hard to find one at an affordable level. Like the Crave one I think is $20, Supergoop's like up there, but invest in that. And that's kind of your base routine. And once you get that down, you can start to figure out like, what do I really want to treat? Like acne, PIH, congestion, rosacea, like all of the above. And then you start adding things in from there. So I have a lot of redness. I'm gonna add in a soothing essence, or I have a lot of congestion, I'm going to add in an AHA, BHA solution. So you can kind of just build up from there, but the essentials are really going to be cleanse with a gentle cleanser, moisturize with an effective moisturizer, and prevent with an SPF 50 plus sunscreen. What's your skin type? My skin type is combo, oily, and so acne prone. Like everything congests my skin. It's so terrible. This is a great question. Okay, can your moisture barrier be intact yet you still get acne? Absolutely. So you can have a healthy moisture barrier in the way that we've kind of talked about it a lot, which is adequate moisture and hydration. Like you haven't stripped away all of the oils from your skin, but that doesn't mean you're not getting buildup of dead skin on the top layer of your skin. So definitely, like you can absolutely have acne while still having a moisture barrier intact. I just see it as one of the most common things that is going on for people because they've stripped their moisture barrier, and so they're overproducing oil and therefore they're having acne. But you can definitely have a buildup of dead skin cells. You could have bacterial acne. Like there's a lot of different things that can go on. So I would say yes, but start with determining if your moisture barrier really truly is intact. All right, that is all the questions that I have right now. I hope to kind of do some of these more frequently. I find that I get a lot of questions on a daily basis, so I'm happy to kind of have a platform now where I can document all of the answers. Other than that, I've linked my blog and my Instagram and my book down below. I do think that might help a few of you answer some more of your questions, just if you're curious about learning more. I hope everyone has a great day, and thanks for tuning in.